welcome to Mac's Garage. Today we're going to be changing the master cylinder and the brake booster. Brake booster needs to be fixed because of the vacuum, and then just because we're already in there and taking the whole thing apart, might as well change the master cylinder. Because we already have chrome, we bought a chrome one. So let's get started. All right, so we're gonna take off the master cylinder first because we don't wanna introduce air into the system. All right, so we're gonna unclip this, move all the lines out of the way. We did already take off the seat. Make sure that you're taking the bolts out of the track because there are 2 bolts on the back of the seat that look like it's pushed into the carpet. It is not. You need to move the seat forward in order for you to get the back too. All right, so underneath the dash, there's a pin that is hooked to the brake pedal. We're gonna take that off first. And then after that, it comes off. There's 4 bolts in the back that when you undo them, it'll push the brake booster out from the dash. There's a ton of wiring and that'll be fixed in another video. So we're gonna get the pin out, get it undone from the brake pedal, and then get the bolts undone. And so we have a 9/16 socket, a swivel extension, and then a bunch of other extensions because we can get the bottom ones off with the help of an impact. Now the top 2, we are not gonna be able to use that for because they're too high and the angle is not gonna let us do that. Now we're just gonna pull it straight out. This is the old one. This is where it goes into the brake pedal. So for this length, it needs to match, this fork will go on here, this length. So we're gonna have to make sure that both of them will be the same. This pin right here is what went through here, through the brake pedal, and this goes on the side of it. Okay, so I had to like pull this off and be able to push it forwards and then pulled it straight out of the brake pin. So we measured it at 6 1/4. This fork, took it off the other one and then screwed it back on, hold the nut, twisted it, make sure it stays good. And then we took off all the nuts, so we're gonna just put it right back in there, just like we took it off. Put the nuts back on here, and then put the brake. All right, so we're gonna put it straight back in there. All right, so we got the brake booster in, the bolts are in, and the pin is in the brake. Next is the master cylinder, and we already reverse bled it. So you take off the top and then use a reverse bleeder to get all the fluid out, or turkey baster, whatever you have. Now we're gonna take off these 2 nuts right here to get the master cylinder out, and then we're going to change it out and reverse bleed the system. So here's the new master cylinder. We are gonna put it over pins in the brake booster. Just do these hand tight. So we were gonna bench bleed it, but we don't have the right tools and there's no bleeder port on the master cylinder. So we're gonna have to bleed it on the car. All right, so we're gonna put these pins back. So now that everything's tightened, we're gonna start the reverse bleed from the furthest away brake. To reverse bleed, it's a 2-person job because you have to look out to make sure that it doesn't get overfilled. That being said, follow directions on the reverse bleed kit, but I will say this, make sure there is no air in the reverse bleeder. When we started it, the brake fluid just shot up into the air. So I'm having to hold the cover over, and then every few times I'm having to check to make sure that it's not overfilling. So we'll be back in just a second. There it is. And that's why you don't press hard.
I didn't.
Okay, yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of air. I don't know if that's, no, okay. I'm gonna put this back on. All right, so we reverse bled the system. It's completely full now, and then put the vacuum back to the brake booster. So now we just got to clean up these wires. We're gonna clean up real quick and then we'll turn it on and make sure the brake booster is boosting. So the brake booster worked. It's not hissing anymore, but the only thing is the brakes are still soft, maybe because we only did 2 and you know that never worked. But we will get to do all 4 corners, and once that's in, then the brake should be good. So the brake booster and the master cylinder is in, the job is done. Make sure to subscribe below, and I hope to see you next time.